it is milk in packets, but not milk. It is changa. Plus, is Tieti the forgotten constituency? Very good afternoon to you. Many thanks for joining us on KTN NewsDesk on this 10th day of August 2016. It is a pleasure to have you tuned in. My name is Akisa Wandera, and we start off our bulletin with Matters Education, where the Head Teachers Conference is currently ongoing in Mombasa. Various speakers have taken to the podium. We've seen the Secretary General of Kenyan National Union of Teachers, Wilson Sossion, and the chairperson of the Education Committee in the National Assembly. Present are, among those present, of course, are the Cabinet Secretary for ICT, and we will definitely be bringing you more details on what has been said at the Head Teachers Conference, which is being held in Mombasa. Let's just cross over there for a bit.
The function of the Ministry of Education, therefore, is to facilitate government's commitment to realization of the constitutional rights to Kenyans. It is from this background that issues concerning the education sector are clearly captured in the first pillar of the Jubilee Manifesto agenda for Kenya. The manifesto recognizes that Kenya needs an educated and professionally well-adjusted workforce to reap maximum benefits from its human capital in order to fully exploit the country's economic potential. I want to assure you the government is fully committed to improving quality and access to education by addressing, amongst others, the following. Increase the number of schools in disadvantaged areas and restrict class sizes to a maximum of 40. Reduce the student-teacher ratio to 1 teacher to every 40 students. Encourage county governments to boost funding of the education sector with additional local resources. Remove financial and non-financial barriers that undermine students' quest for continuing their education so as to improve the transition rates between primary to secondary and then into tertiary levels. Ensure that learning institutions adequately safeguard the rights of pupils with special needs. Work with international partners to support the education sector. I wish to state further that the government is on course to ensure full implementation of the digital learning program. Indeed, distribution of laptops and tablets to schools is ongoing, and soon they will be in all our primary schools. Last week I was in China at the factories looking and inspecting the manufacture of the devices, and also last week we received the first shipment, and the shipments are ongoing. And I assure you we are on course in ensuring that the devices will be in country. I am pleased to let you know that the devices have numerous applications and can be used to make lessons more engaging and learner-centered. The program is a deliberate effort by the government to digitize the education system and reposition the country as a leader in ICTs in the continent. I want to challenge you to embrace ICT as a critical tool to drive the education agenda forward. The biggest challenge will be making all our teachers ICT compliant. I therefore challenge you to make effort to ensure all your staff are digitally literate, and we invite you to engage us further on our promise, because we are sure of delivering each and every one of the laptops in due course. I note with great appreciation the paradigm shift in education programs initiated by the Ministry of Education and other stakeholders in education. The Basic Education Act 2013, Part 4, actualizes in the NESP, is very elaborate on free and compulsory basic education. I take cognizance of the fact that all these issues appertaining to this section have been taken up and implemented through child-friendly schools initiatives, and I applaud CAPTCHA for their effort in enhancing implementation of the same in primary schools countrywide. Of special mention is the recent launch of the Children's Government championed by CAPTCHA during the Children's Conference in June this year. This initiative clearly puts the children a notch higher as an official stakeholder in matters concerning welfare, education, and governance. Following the launch of the Children's Government, the newly elected children government body was invited to the National Assembly and introduced to the members. I'm proud to say that the children's government is a clear indicator of leadership and governance strategies within the child-friendly schools. It serves as the official voice of children and provides a platform for children to have their views and opinions given due weight. I note that the structure adopted in the children's government is in line with the structure of the national government, which is constitutional. This gives our children an opportunity to engage in democratic practices early in life and therefore grow up as informed and competent generation in issues of democracy and governance. So as I conclude,
all right, that there is the Cabinet Secretary for ICT, Joe Musheru, addressing the annual Head Teachers for Primary Schools conference in Mombasa. Of course, talking about ways in which they will ensure, or the government will ensure, teachers will be ICT compliant. So as for it to trickle down to the students, this is an ongoing event that we will definitely continue to keep tabs on for you. Now, to a story that has caused a lot of emotion and reaction on the social media and beyond, the Machakos man accused of chopping his wife's hands off for failing to conceive has been denied bail. Stephen Gila will therefore remain in custody as investigations continue over the case. Senior Resident Magistrate Kip Kirui Kibelion ruled that Ngila will not be released on bail due to security issues and witness interference by the suspect. The suspect's lawyer, Moses Kamolo, says he will appeal against the ruling. The case comes up for mention later this month on the 23rd and a hearing on the 20th of September.
The security of the accused cannot be guaranteed if released following the community agitation following the commission of the offense. As stated earlier, this count is not contained in the affidavit, but was argued by the parties nonetheless. The court has a duty to protect the accused in equal measure as the victim.
Every person's right, upon suspicion or being taken to court, to be released on bond. The bond should be conditional, but today I must say that I'm surprised, I'm taken aback by the ruling that has just been delivered. It is the grounds that have been advanced by the court. To me, they do not amount to a compelling reason that should deny the accused person's bond. The mere fact that they live together, they live in the same location with the witnesses, that does not alone amount to a compelling reason.
All right, let's now get into matters politics. Amani National Congress is accusing Jubilee of planning to rig the forthcoming general election. Party leader Musalia Mudavadi says the announcement by President Uhuru Kenyatta that the party will engage IEBC in its party primaries is an assault on independent institutions. Our senior political reporter Duncan Haemba now joins us live from the ANC headquarters at Amani House in Lavington to give us further insights on these claims by the party leader Musalia Mudavadi. Good afternoon, Duncan Haemba. Many thanks for joining us on NewsDesk. These are very grave allegations against the Jubilee Pact. What else was said there by the ANC party leader?
Yes, Akisa, yes, you're saying it's a very grave allegation, but I think that is what the Amani National Congress Party has chosen to address. Of course, the news briefing was titled Jubilee Government Manipulating Constitutional Institutions. I'm joined by the party leader, Musalia Mudavadi, former deputy premier, and yes, some consider it as a serious allegation of the government trying to infiltrate IEBC. Maybe your thoughts, or maybe what informed that party position to accuse the government of that?
Well, one of the things that comes out very clearly is that the IEBC is already an entity that is facing a lot of scrutiny, an entity that is the subject of a select committee of both of Parliament today, comprising members of all political establishments. Now, that select committee is there because IEBC is suffering from a credibility crisis. Why don't we wait to have that resolved first? Now, when you add a situation where you say that the ruling coalition or the ruling, the government that is in position is saying that IEBC will then be tasked with the role of supervising the elections, you have to ask yourself this. If the IEBC has been saying that they sometimes are underfunded, they've been saying they're overstretched, then where will they get this additional capacity to be able to handle political party primaries? How then will they be able to resolve disputes, which is a mandate that is given to them, again within the current laws, on a different issue? Then, in the past, the IEBC has said, if any entity wants us to try and handle their primaries, they will have to pay us, because we cannot offer a free service. Now, the moment political parties start engaging in paying the electoral body to have its services conducted, then that begins to lay the foundation for people, for killing the independence or undermining the independence of that very institution as required by law.
When you talk of course, that independence being killed, you've also talked of maybe this is an early plan to rig elections. What makes you be of that conviction?
I mean, if you start working with those people and you start saying that they're the ones who supervise our elections, you start developing linkages. You start developing linkages even at a person level between one party and that institution. Now, those linkages can be used to subvert a free and fair political process when we are now worried about the possibility of that happening. The whole aspect of the select committee is to make sure that the IEBC will be above board going into the future. So I think it is the worst time for political parties to be seen to be engaging on matters of their own internal issues, which they can deal with in accordance with their own constitutions, to start referring this to the IEBC. And as I said, the IEBC must remain focused. Its focus now must be how to deliver free and fair and credible elections come 2017. And they should not be entangled in political wrangles of parties.
Maybe should they say that IEBC, being a poll agency, can oversee any election because their mandate is to conduct elections if called upon? Maybe what could be the avenue that ANC will be pursuing? I mean, do you intend to seek legal redress should the Jubilee go ahead and maybe invoke services of IEBC, because they could argue that IEBC is free to oversee any elections if called upon?
Well, definitely many people will take it differently. And you cannot rule out the possibility of legal challenges on this kind of issue. But even just from a purely realistic and politically correct situation, we must clear the credibility crisis that is within the IEBC first. That is absolutely essential, and that should be the primary objective. Now, the IEBC has got to clean up the register. The IEBC must make sure that all the queries that were raised, which resulted in their inefficiency, must be dealt with. So, frankly speaking, IEBC must be corrected first, and it must focus on its core mandate of supervising the general elections. Political parties must deal with their own agenda. And in any case, once IEBC starts receiving payments for services from political parties, then what is its core function? Is it a revenue-generating entity, or is it supposed to be there to conduct free and fair elections? Already funded by the taxpayer anyway.
Maybe back to issues, events that happened yesterday at State House. We've read statements of ANC, ODM party leaders heavily condemning the merge of parties. And somebody will say in 2013, Musalia Mudavadi's UDF teamed up with other parties under Amani Coalition. ODM teamed up with other parties under Accord Alliance. Maybe why this attack? Is it because maybe Jubilee has invaded your territories and maybe many of your members have switched allegiance, that now ODM and INC maybe is coming out fighting? Somebody might want to know why.
There's a difference. There's a difference between coalitions and there's a difference between acquisition. What Jubilee has done, it has undertaken a political acquisition. The mergers are parties that have been acquired by the key players within the Jubilee coalition. CORD is a coalition. CORD remains a party of Wiper, ODM, Ford Kenya, and maybe a few others. That is how it is. So there's a difference, because this is talking about mergers, and in the process, a merger is more or less like an acquisition. And on this other side, this is purely a coalition. There's a distinction.
Well, thank you very much. We'll have to leave you for now. We understand that ODM party leader and CORD leader Raila Odinga is equally getting ready to address the nation, maybe on the same matter that Amani National Congress party leader Musalia Mudavadi has addressed. And in a nutshell, he says IBC, it's in their interest to keep off political party affairs because as it stands, they're already facing serious credibility issues. From Amani National, Amani House, that's what I understand it's called. Of course, the party headquarters for Amani National Congress. My name is Duncan Haemba. Over to you, Akisa Wandera.
Thank you very much for that, Duncan Haemba, of course, joining us from Amani House, speaking to the ANC party leader there, Musalia Mudavadi, who's contesting the involvement of the IEBC in party politics. All right, and still on that note, CORD leader Raila Odinga today met with leaders from the Maasai community in what has been described as a part of the opposition's networking strategy. Let us now cross over there to the Orange House, where we understand the ODM party leader is expected to address the media.
What we'll do is wewe sema tu nimekuja, alafu mko na memorandum ambayo yatasoma, then it takes over. Okay, so you can just summarize. Just summarize it. So then exchange with him first. Okay, fine. Just move to the other side. This way. Gentlemen of the press, I see ladies also. Good afternoon. We have here a delegation from Narok, led by the chairman of Narok, and I'm going to invite him to say a few words and then invite some other people to say a few words.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. As you can see, we have a delegation that is from Narok, which is ODM. And I must take this opportunity to thank His Excellency for giving us this time to meet with him and all other party officials. And I want to say we have alongside with us people who have joined us in ODM from other parties, whom I want to welcome, in particular our governor, aspiring governor, Honorable Musuni, to read the petition we have on behalf of all the delegation from Narok. Thank you. Oh, fine. I'm Charles Solianampaso, ODM Chair, Narok County. Thank you.
Good morning Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to use this opportunity on behalf of the people of Narok County to state that today was a historic occasion for us. We had an opportunity of meeting with the party leader of ODM, Honorable Raila Odinga, to discuss important issues on governance of this country going forward. We have a delegation that came from Narok, a strong delegation, representative of the various communities which live in the county. As we look forward to the 2017 general elections, we have been consulting in Narok about various issues pertaining to leadership, or as far as 2017 is concerned, and largely there has been consensus that the people of Narok want to identify with CORD, and in particular the Orange Democratic Movement. I stood on the KTN National Congress ticket in the last general elections, and we're confident that actually we won the seat of governor. But due to electoral irregularities, which also the Honorable Raila Odinga also experienced, we were virtually rigged out of the election, and we went to seek arbitration in court, unsuccessfully. But we are happy that in recent days that the CORD coalition has pursued the issue of the electoral, basically the IBC issues, and now we are happy that there will be new commissioners and that the electoral system is going to change going forward. Basically, I just want to talk about Narok. Narok is one of the richest counties in the country. In fact, in terms of revenue, particularly the appropriation in aid, the other revenues other than the one from national government, Narok ranks about third or fourth in the country. And that potential has not been realized due to poor management and mismanagement of resources within the county. There has been a hue and cry about leadership in the county, leading to demonstrations and loss of lives and many people injured. And even the leaders from the county being locked up in Muthaiga, the so-called Muthaiga 5. So we've come a long way. And the community has sat down and decided on the way forward in terms of how to fight oppression and how to move forward in terms of the leadership of the county. So I'm happy to announce that the people of Narok have chosen me to be the flag bearer in 2017. And from the consultations we have been going through, the people have requested me to stand on ODM. And today we have had fruitful consultations with the ODM leadership, and we are soon going to organize for a big rally in Narok, where we shall be able to make the declaration as a community, so that we are able to move forward and make this country a better place, and for our children into the future. So today there are various issues we've discussed, but I think the key issue has been the consensus and the assurance to the party leader of ODM that the people of Narok are with you as you continue to fight for justice and for the marginalized in this country. The Maasais being one of the most marginalized communities in the country historically. We are aware that even from the 1904-1911 agreement, the British virtually grabbed our land and impoverished the community. And despite efforts to get justice in the courts, 1912, 1915, the community was not successful to be able to get those injustices rectified. I want to state that those issues are still alive today. We want to associate with a party that will fight for historical injustices of the people who are downtrodden, including our community, the Maasai community. And we are happy to note that Honorable Raila identifies with our aspirations, together, of course, with the Court Coalition. So basically, I just want to let you know that today it was just a matter of us being able to get to know each other and to assure the party leader that the Maasai community is fully behind CORD. We have a number of other issues, but I guess that we shall be able to share them in writing. Perhaps we shall. Yes, we shall hand over this copy.
No, it doesn't.
You don't have to. Okay, the name, I forgot to tell you that my name, Joseph Tiampati Olemusuni, former Principal Secretary, Ministry of ICT, until late last year. Thank you so much.
So now I've got Ole Kanshori, you all know, who will also say a few words.
Yeah, thank you, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. I don't have much to say, but to just tell Kenyans that as we are all gearing up for 2017 elections, the Ma community is deciding to chart its own destiny. We are not ready as a community to be told that we belong to certain coalitions or certain parties because we are leaders and we are people who can destine our own future, future of our own people, and that is what you are seeing here today. We have received a delegation from Narok, and as my brother Olemusuni has said, he has crossed over from KNC, which was his last party, and coincidentally in 2013 that was also my party, and he's now moved to ODM, and we've received him officially, and this is just among many strategies or movements that you're going to be seeing coming from this community. We are aware that yesterday there was a meeting somewhere in State House, and coincidentally this had been planned before yesterday, because you know how far Narok is, so it was not possible for us to quickly get buses and just lump people to Orange House. So this is not a reaction to yesterday's meeting. This had been planned. We just want to welcome my brother Olemusuni and the people that he has come with. He has come with a high-powered delegation. We have youth representing the Ma community. We have the president of the youth representing the Ma community. We have elders in this delegation. But this is just going to be some of the things that you'll be seeing happening a lot. Maasai community is going to move in CORD. This is Narok. Kajiado is solidly behind CORD. We are going to be seeing movements from Marsabit, Samburu. We're going to see movements from Laikipia. As a community now, we are saying it is time we move as one people. We have the same challenges in our community. As my brother had said, we are a marginalized community. We face the same challenges. And the only place that we know our challenges will be addressed is in the Quad Coalition. So I thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it from the horse's mouth. We welcome a delegation from Narok County. As you've mentioned, this is not something that was planned yesterday. This is something that has been in the planning for a long time. And initially we were supposed to be going to Narok. They said before we go, they would like to come to here, Nairobi, and raise some of the issues of concern with us. So we're happy to receive them. We're receiving my friend, Ole Msuni, who, as you know, was very regularly removed from service last year, along with several others. But he was a candidate for governor's position last elections. We have our officials from Narok also with them here. Going forward, as I told you yesterday, we are energizing the base. We are organizing ourselves. We are not reacting to anybody. This is something that is ongoing. You've seen us in the Western Kenya, you've seen us in parts of Nyanza, you see us, next week you'll see us in the coast. We are going to go all over the country in preparation for elections next year. What we want is to ensure that there's a level playing field in the elections. We see a scared regime acting in a very scared way. They want to control and muzzle the population. They want to interfere with the freedom of expression, freedom of the press. I was shocked and surprised last night when I saw a group of senior government officials. You have the Inspector General of Police, you have the Director of Public Prosecution, you have the Director of Investigations, you have the Cabinet Secretary in charge of internal security, all meeting, talking about the so-called freedom of movement, freedom of expression, talking about now controlling social media. They have already compromised to a large extent the print media and the electronic media. Now they're moving to try to muzzle even the social media, that they're going to introduce regulations to regulate the social media. Social media, people speak freely. Even in the public rallies, people should be allowed to speak. I had saw Mr. Tobiko saying that somebody should be arrested on the platform. But there and then, when he's uttering something that is like hate speech, immediately. Now, what is hate speech? What this animal called hate speech? See, it has not been defined. And if you go around those routes, you are going basically to deal with all politicians. I would tell you, if you look at the debate in the United States, Mr. Trump should not be speaking. He would have been, if it was Mr. Tobiko or Mr. Caparo, Mr. Trump should be charged a long time ago. But that is the freedom. In the United States, Trump enjoys his freedom. Obama only criticizes him. Hillary criticizes him because if somebody says something, like the other one said Raila should be killed, and then you go and arrest people who have said he should be arrested. I could have heard the Inspector General of Police saying, if you arrest this side, you must arrest this other side. Two wrongs don't make a right. These other people who actually said, arrest that guy for what he had said, then you go and arrest them also. That is not actually dispensing justice in our country. This is a free country. We fought so hard to open the democratic space, and we will defend it at every cost. We will not allow these people to introduce regulations to control free speech, to control the social media. That is the only media that is left. Sometimes they say a lot of rubbish about me. But that is the freedom. They talk all sorts of things about Raila. And I don't care, I don't worry. Why are these people worried? Why should Uhuru and Ruto be worried when people are talking about them? Unasema ati ndovu husengenywa wakati ambaye amepindua mgongo. Wacha waongee. Wacha waongee. Let Kenyans speak freely. Let us not use this excuse of this animal called hate speech to muzzle people, particularly as we now enter the season of campaign. People should speak freely. People should speak freely. And if somebody insults you, find a way of responding to him. That's the way democracy works. Or just give him a contempt card. That is another way of responding. But Mr. Kaparo, you're wasting your time. Your time is also up. Please exit that stage. Let Kenyans move on. Thank you very much. Which one?
Yesterday, Ole Kaparo went to State House, also to their delegation, and he worked with you.
Well, that is ODM party leader Raila Odinga in a meeting or addressing the media after a meeting with leaders from the Maasai community, a large number of them from Narok County. Of course, they're speaking about what is said to be freedom of speech there and on the social media. And this is something we continue, our team is there, we continue to keep you posted on what is happening, the politics of the opposition, and of course from the Jubilee side as well. But away from that, betting has been cited as a new way of promoting revenue, making opportunities, and also giving back to the society. Standard Group CEO Sam Shalay says that efforts must be made to promote responsible betting. He spoke at the Standard Group offices on Mombasa Road. Shalay received SportPesa officials who highlighted the benefits of betting to the economy.
As you are aware, the debate on sports betting and general and lottery conversation in Kenya is become big in recent times. It's a debate that comes at the right time about how this industry should function. It's a debate that Kenyans need to internalize whether there is really a difference between sports betting and beer consumption and soda consumption and food consumption, and whether it is not just another industry that in my own way it probably has a lot of uplifting for many Kenyans, because a chance of winning a jackpot for many Kenyans, and we have now seen Kenyans whose lives have been transformed by winning a jackpot of 10 million or 20 million shillings. And these are things that transform those lives and the communities around the lives of the people who have won lotteries.
Is a subject that needs a lot of demystification. I know everyone growing up was probably being told about not taking part in betting activities and things like that, and we've all grown up with these fears and with these thoughts. But if you look at any other economies where this has actually taken place and you see the impact that it has had, then you realize that some of these fears that people have actually are misfounded. And in our discussions today, we've actually highlighted some of these things in a bid to also bring our partners, the Standard Group, in the same light and equip them with knowledge on the benefits of what we are doing, so that we can also educate the general public on on everything concerning game.
Blessed in terms of talent, so sports development is key in Kenya, and the sole reason why SportPesa is doing all these sponsorships is really to better and nurture the sporting talent in Kenya. Our key focus, as we've been singing this, is really 2022. That's where we're really aiming at, and really want to see Kenya participate in the same, and we believe we can. So all of us, if we put efforts together, all the sponsorships and the benefits that come with it, the training camps that will come along with the sponsorships, especially the Arsenal, Southampton, Hull City, will really help to better the talent that we have in Kenya and really see Kenya participate in 2022 and make Kenya proud.
All right, that's all we had, Landa, for you here on the KTN News Desk. Many thanks for joining us. Up next, the sports team prepares to bring you the highlights of the Rio Olympics. Be sure to catch that. My name is Akisa Wandera. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and keep it KTN News.
We want this time the IBC to conduct nominations. Unless you have free and fair party primaries, then you will not win the seats that you intend to win ultimately. And that is something that we're going to solidify in Parliament.